Mandalore was a hot-button issue during the Clone Wars, as it was the leader of over 1,500 neutral star systems that wanted to remain outside of the war. Despite this, after Maul's seizure of the world, it seems inevitable that war will come to Mandalore once again. But why exactly is this world so important, and what are the strategic benefits of taking control of Mandalore? Now, for this video, we want to be looking at the factors that make Mandalore a point of interest for the factions in the galaxy, including the Republic, the Separatists, and Maul's crime syndicate. Now, on the outside, without context, Mandalore is pretty unimportant. It's located in the Outer Rim, and generally it isn't a key manufacturer or exporter of any strategic resources, at least not ones that are exclusive to them. However, historically, as we know, Mandalorians were amongst the most formidable warriors in the galaxy, and I think that this is a good place to start when discussing its importance. Their pacifist regime had lasted less than 100 years, and to many around the galaxy, they were still the fierce warriors that conquered countless systems. For this reason, they obviously have a lot of influence. It's normal for people to want to follow the strong as they think they're going to be the ones who are going to win. And that's how many people perceived the Mandalorians. So say if you did potentially have the backing of Mandalore, it's likely that it's going to come with backing from many other worlds that respected or feared them. This is likely one of the reasons why the Council of Neutral Systems chose Mandalore as its leader. They needed to look relatively strong so that they couldn't be forced into the war. As for the fact that Mandalore led 1,500 neutral systems, that is a big strategic value. At the end of the day, these neutral systems could turn the tide in many conflicts. Many of these worlds traded with both the CIS and the Republic, so you could potentially highly damage your enemy's trade network by bringing them onto your side and cutting off trade. Now, to what extent Mandalore was actually involved in the neutral systems after Maul's takeover is disputed, but remember, Prime Minister Olmec was still seen as the legitimate face of Mandalore, so it's very possible that they actually still had a reasonably large amount of influence. Also, consider the fact that for criminals, Mandalore neutrality made it relatively untouchable in terms of the law. Republic authorities nor Separatists could pursue you into neutral space, as it would incur retaliation from the imposing side and the neutral systems. So for criminals like Maul, Mandalore was an absolute haven. Finally, we need to consider the fact that Mandalore, despite spending the last few decades in peace, was by no means weak. Satine's pacifist policy in the grand scheme of things is a very short part of Mandalore's history, and it's very likely it still had a lot of strategic resources. Armour and weapon forges, ships, etc. Things that were likely en route to be decommissioned, but they could be brought out of retirement and still be considerably dangerous. There was probably a lot of suits of Mandalorian armour and weapons lying around still. Also, consider the fact that a lot of trained warriors were still alive, and they'd likely stuck to the Mandalorian tradition and passed that training down to younger relatives. So if anyone out there ever said that just because Mandalore was at the point of time in the Clone Wars technically a pacifist and neutral world, saying it was weak is completely incorrect. At the end of the day, if you had Mandalore on your side, you would be getting a very formidable army. Maybe not the largest army, but one of the most capable in the galaxy. But what do you guys think? Why was Mandalore so valuable? And how powerful do you believe they actually were towards the end of the Clone Wars? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at @TheLawGuy and tick the bell for regular updates. But most importantly, thank you so much for watching, I do hope that you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.